It is not impermanence that makes us suffer. It is wanting things to be permanent when they are not. Thich Nhat Hanh. Hello and welcome to episode 329 of Namaste Yoga. I'm Dr. Melissa West and we are here at Gallantod Provincial Park, again, one of our favorite places to film. We are joined right now by some divers just getting out of the water at Todd Inlet here. So if you hear some noise in the background, that's just them gathering themselves up as they get out. And I want to thank you so much for joining us as we journey into our innermost home in the next hour. So thank you so much for welcoming me into your home as we journey into our innermost home. I have a testimonial to share with you today. This is one I got from Victoria this morning via email, and she said, "Dear Melissa, thank you so much for making available your yoga classes online. What a blessing. I'm very new to yoga, and in the short time that I have been following you, I have learned that all the deep breathing exercises help with COPD, and the yoga poses are not all invasive on my body and make me feel alive. Thank you again, Victoria." I'd also like to thank Squeezed Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I'm wearing a long sleeve red top with the Om symbol on it and long brown leggings. And also thanks to Dusky Leaf for the props. Today I'm using a yoga mat, and you'll need 2 blocks, a strap, and I think that should be it. So today we're continuing our series on the 6 perfections and the Awakening Your True Self series. It's like there's, this series is like Russian dolls. It's like we've got the Awakening Your True Self series, and then within that we've got the 6 perfections. Within that we've got the Patience series. So this is part 3 of 3 of the Patience, and then it's and then we've got the 6 perfections. It's part of the Awakening Your True Self series. Okay, we're going to start on our backs with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, and we're going to start with a breath practice, pranayama, called 3-part breath. Okay, so with your hands on your belly, just take a few breaths in and out of your belly. Well, obviously not in and out of your belly, but in and out of your nose, breathing down into your belly. Then bring your hands up to your rib cage and feel breath movement into your rib cage. And if it's difficult to keep your shoulders resting heavy on the ground here, then you can wrap your arms around like you're giving yourself a hug. And feel breath movement here into your rib cage. And then you're going to take your hands and place them on your upper chest. And feel for breath movement underneath your breastbone around your heart center. Then you can take your hands either down on your belly or down by the sides of your body, up to you. And we're going to breathe in 3 parts. And there's a little bit of retention with this. So you're going to breathe into your belly, pause, breathe into your rib cage, pause, breathe into your upper chest, pause, and then you're going to let your breath out in one smooth, continuous breath out. Now, if you're pregnant, then you will just omit the pauses and keep your breath continuous in the 3 parts of your breath in. Or if you have any other health conditions that prevent you from pausing or holding your breath for any reason, then just keep your breath continuous on the way in. Otherwise, we'll do those pauses. So breathe in belly, pause, breathe into your rib cage, pause, breathe into your upper chest, pause and be full of air, and then allow for one long, smooth, fluid exhalation. Breathe in belly, pause, breathe into your rib cage, pause, breathe into your upper chest, pause and be full of air, and then one long, smooth, fluid exhalation. Breathe in belly, pause, breathe in rib cage, pause, breathe in upper chest, pause, be full of air, and exhale. Breathe in belly, pause, breathe into your rib cage, pause, breathe into your upper chest, pause, and just notice what it is like to be full of air, full of prana, full of life force. And then as you breathe out, notice what it's like to let go of all that life force, that prana, that energy. So there's birth, and then there's letting go of life force. So there's that death. There's a cycle of life and death with each breath. Breathe in belly, pause, breathe in rib cage, pause, breathe in upper chest, pause and be full of air, and exhale. So we're going to add some arms to this breath practice. You're going to breathe in belly, raise your arms a little bit. Breathe in rib cage, raise your arms a little bit more. Breathe in upper chest, take your arms all the way overhead. And then you're going to breathe out and circle your arms all the way down and around. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. Breathe out and circle your arms down and around. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. Breathe out, circle down and around. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. Breathe out and circle your arms down and around. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. Breathe out and circle down and around. And then take your block and put it between your knees. We'll add our lower body now. So we're going to lift a little as you breathe in. Lift a little bit more. Breathe in a little more. Lift up all the way. And exhale down and around. So using the same breath, now we're adding our lower body. Breathe in. Ribs. Upper chest. Exhale down and around. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest, down and around. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest, down and around. And one more like that. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest, and down and around. And then you can take the block out from between your knees and just hug your knees into your chest as a counter pose here. And you're going to do that counter pose, and I'm just going to make sure. I can't remember what I was going to do next here. Okay, that's because I decided to add something when I came here. Tim told me I was going to warm up enough to take this jacket off. The sun came out, that's why. And the wind died down. It's lovely now. Yay. Okay, you're going to need your strap now. I decided to add this in when I got here because I thought, you know what, if we don't do this, your hamstrings aren't going to be prepared enough for some of the balancing postures we're going to be doing later. So I'll just throw this off the set so it doesn't look terrible on set. Okay. So take your strap and place it around the ball of your right foot. And you're going to take your right foot in the air. Am I still in your frame? Okay. So we'll do this still with the 3-part breath. So start not at your edge so you have a place to move. So don't go to the deepest stretch yet. You're going to breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and then you're going to exhale and release a bit. So still using that 3-part breath. Breathe in belly, draw your leg in a bit. Breathe in rib cage, draw your leg in a little more. Breathe in upper chest, draw your leg in all the way. And then breathe out long exhalation, let your leg go a bit. Breathe in belly. Breathe in ribs. Breathe in upper chest. And breathe out, release your leg. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. And exhale. Breathe in belly. Rib cage. Exhale. Breathe in belly. Breathe into your ribs. Breathe into your upper chest. And exhale. And then we'll switch your legs. So hook up your other foot. Place the strap around the ball of your foot. And just a caution too, if you have low back issues, to keep your opposite leg bent as well. That's better for your low back. And again, we'll just start in a position that's not your deepest edge, so you have some room to move, so that you're coming into the place where you've experienced the most sensation, but you don't start there. And we'll start by breathing into your belly. Draw in your leg a little bit. Breathe into your rib cage. Draw your leg in all the way. Breathe into your upper chest. And then exhale and release your leg. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. Exhale. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. And exhale. Breathe in belly. Breathe in rib cage. Breathe in upper chest. And exhale. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your rib cage. Breathe into your upper chest. and exhale. Last one, breathe into your belly. Breathe into your rib cage. Breathe into your upper chest. And exhale. And release your left leg down. And then you can put your strap off to the side. And roll to your side. We're going to come up onto all fours. And we're going to come into a lunge position. Okay. So coming up onto your knees, I'm going to double up my mat because this ground is pretty hard here, and you might want to do that at home too to have some extra padding underneath your knees. We'll start by, can you hear the raven through my mic? Yeah, I love hearing the ravens here. We're going to start by walking your left leg through, and we're going to come up actually. You know what may be useful for you to use the blocks. I'm going to give lots of options for this. So it's going to take a little bit maybe to set this up. So you're going to, my blocks aren't going to want to stand up. Okay, you're going to start in a pretty square lunge. Okay. With your foot forward of your knee. So when I say square lunge, I want your right leg to be perpendicular to the ground. So just like when we did the Supta Padangusthasana with your leg in the air, you're not starting at your deepest edge with the opening of the front of your right hip. Okay? Because, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start with your lower body and add your upper body. Because that's all my feeble little brain can handle right now. So we'll just layer in and assume that maybe your brain needs to layer too. Okay, so we're going to inhale, 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 and exhale. Would you look at that? There's a hamstring stretch there. I maybe had this more figured out than I thought I did. So we'll inhale, 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 and exhale. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in ribs, breathe into your upper chest. Exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe into your ribs, breathe into your upper chest. Exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in ribs, breathe in upper chest. Exhale. And then we're going to add arms. So the same arms that you did with Setu Bandhasana, Bridge Pose. So inhale, 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 exhale, lean back. So you're just lifting them gradually and then lowering them down on the exhale. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Good for balance and coordination. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhale. One more on the side. Belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhale. Okay, and we'll do that on the other side. We'll do it with the layering too, because I think it helps to establish the pattern in your lower body and then add the upper body. Okay, so start with your foot forward of your knee, your right foot forward of your right knee. Your left leg is at a 90-degree angle to the ground. And then you inhale, lean forward a little bit. Inhale, lean forward a little bit more. Inhale all the way, come into that full expression of the opening of the front of your left hip. And then you're going to exhale, lean back into your hamstring opening. Inhale, 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 exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in ribs, breathe in upper chest, breathe out. Breathe in belly, ribs, upper chest, breathe out. Belly, ribs, belly, ribs, upper chest, and breathe out. And we'll add the upper body, arms up, up, up. Exhale. Breathe in, in, in. Exhale down and around. Breathe in, in, in. Exhale down and around. And then one more like this. Okay, and from here you can take your blocks off to the side and straighten out your mat. And we're going to do Ikpad, Rajakapotasana, or Pigeon Pose. Okay, so start from all fours. And what you're going to do is circle your right hip forward. Reach your left leg back and long. And we're going to start folded forward. I'm actually going to give an option first and I'm going to come back. So just hang here for a minute if you're doing this version. The option here is to come on your back and do eye of the needle. So right leg over top of your left leg. And then when we do the 3-part breath, you'll just start knot at an edge. You may need to use your strap for that then. And you'll do inhale, 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 and exhale, release. Okay, so let's go back to the pigeon version of this pose. So in the pigeon version of this pose, we're starting in sleeping pigeon. And then you're going to breathe into your belly. And you're going to lift up a little bit. Then you're going to breathe into your rib cage. You're going to lift up a little bit more. Then you're going to breathe into your upper chest. You're going to lift up all the way so you're in the back bending pigeon. And then you're going to exhale and lower all the way back down to sleeping pigeon. So breathe into your belly. Lift up a little bit. Breathe into your rib cage. Lift up a little bit more. Breathe into your upper chest. Lift up all the way so you're in the back bending pigeon. And breathe out, come back into sleeping pigeon. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest. Exhale all the way down. What's that out there, Tim? Oh, maybe. Okay. Breathe in belly, breathe in rib cage, breathe in upper chest, exhale all the way down, breathe in belly, breathe in rib cage, breathe in upper chest, exhale, and one more, breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest, and exhale down. And then we're going to switch sides. So you're going to take your right leg back onto all fours. And from here, you're going to circle your left hip forward towards your left wrist, your left knee to your left wrist. And then you're going to reach your right leg back and long. I knew that was going to land right on the rock. Okay. And then you come into the sleeping pigeon. And we'll do the same 3-part breath. So you breathe into your belly, lift a little bit. Breathe into your rib cage, lift a little bit more. Breathe into your upper chest. Feel the full expansion. And then you breathe out and fold all the way down. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your rib cage. Breathe into your upper chest. Exhale down. Breathe into your belly. Breathe into your rib cage. Breathe into your upper chest. Exhale down. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest. and lower. And one more. And then you can come up and find your way into a comfortable seated position. So I'm going to sit on a block today. From the seated position, we're going to do one of my favorite mudras, the Pushan Mudra. This mudra, in your right hand, you place your thumb, your index finger, and your middle finger together. And then on the left hand, you place your thumb, your middle finger, and your ring finger together. And then you rest them both palms facing up on your lap. And this mudra symbolizes receiving and allowing and bringing in on one hand, and then the gesture of letting go and releasing on the other hand. And you need both in your life. So in life, you absorb all the richness and the abundance of life. You digest life to its fullest. But then also in life, there is loss, there is death, there is times to let things go. And so at that time, you can't be hanging on. You must let go when it's time to let go. So we can probably look all around here. So for example, the pine cones, when they come off the tree, they come off the tree. This leaf is dead, so it's no longer living on the tree, so the tree lets it go. So there are many examples of the cycle of life in nature. Nature is a great place to come and meditate on the cycle of life. So that's why we're doing the Pushan Mudra today. So you're going to close your eyes to allow yourself to be receptive for the teachings today. And if they resonate with you, great. If not, you can let them go. In our Awakening Your True Self series, we are exploring the 6 paramitas, or the 6 perfections. And the intention behind cultivating the 6 perfections is for the development of compassion. It is considered the path of the Bodhisattva. Today we are reflecting on the 3rd perfection, or the 3rd paramita, which is Shanti paramita, or forbearance, tolerance, and patience. And this happens to be our 3rd class on patience too. It's a trinity, a class of trinities. Shanti paramita teaches that life is difficult from time to time. We will all experience the suffering of illness, financial hardship, difficulties in relationships, addictions, and emotional despair. And then there are even the everyday sufferings of small annoyances, from frustrations to setbacks and situational depression. With Shanti Paramita, we have the option to meet our resistance, the feeling that I can't believe this is happening to me, with patience, tolerance, and forbearance. So instead of refusing to accept and the knee-jerk reaction to blame anyone, and this knee-jerk reaction to blame can often be self-reflexive, so we can blame ourselves for everything too. And whether we're blaming others or blaming ourselves, it can lead to bitterness. So then instead we can ask for patience. May I be patient? So according to Shanti Paramita, there are 3 kinds of hardship that we will face. And we've already explored the pain of personal pain, both physical and emotional. That was 2 weeks ago. And last week we explored the pain caused by our personal relationships and interactions with others. So today we have a very uplifting topic, the painful truth about our life. So the difficult truth of our life is that life is not perfect. I don't think this is a newsflash to anybody at this point in their lives. If it is, I'm sorry to be the bearer of that news. The rest of this, if that's news, then the rest of this is going to be really depressing. So this is a very Buddhist perspective. And when we can really have the courage to face these difficult truths, they actually bring great joy to our daily life. But it's usually things that we don't want to face. So the truth is that we are all going to die. I told you this was going to be heavy. We're going to lose everything that we love. We're going to lose everybody that we love. We're going to lose everything that we've worked so hard to build. I think about everything that Tim and I have worked so hard to build with Namaste Yoga, and we think about our legacy plan with it. And yet, there's, as much as we try to create a legacy plan for it, when we're gone, I don't know how this will continue. So everything that we worked so hard to build, someday it will be gone. But the videos will be still here, but when we're gone, I don't know how it will continue. And that's just the truth of the situation. And there's a heaviness in my heart about that, and there's a lot of attachment to this, and that takes that's a difficult truth about my life of letting that go. So I am sure there's a level of truth in that about your life too, that things that you've worked hard to build that you won't always be there for either. We only get to live today once. Some days you're probably grateful for that truth. But there are some, that is a very precious truth, and each day is closer to our last. So this is the difficult truth of our life. And through our yoga practice, we can become acquainted with loss in a way that allows us to be more comfortable and more familiar with it. We can also become more familiar with failure and impermanence. So the impermanence of our lives, the impermanence of our relationships, the impermanence of the lives of those that we're in relationship, of the impermanence of that which we're building in our lives. Through our practice, we can build a relationship with impermanence. So today, this is why we're practicing 3-part breath. When we build the breath inside us, we're building that life force, prana, and energy. So we can have that experience of what it's like to be full of life, full of prana, full of life force. And then we're also realizing that it is not possible to stay always full, that we also have to turn the tide and let go. So when we practice that, we recognize the ebb and flow of life. Also today, we're going to be, after this, standing up and practicing balancing postures. They also allow us to become comfortable with falling, with failure, with surrendering, with letting go, because a balancing posture always ends with falling. That falling is part of a balancing posture. So we either finish when we fall or we come back into the pose, but it allows us to become familiar with the falling out phase, the loss, that failure is a part of life. And so people tell me all the time, this is probably one of the most asked questions I get is how do I improve my balance? And it's really an interesting question because, balancing involves falling. And when I think a lot of times it's around improving our relationship with balance, knowing that there's going to be instability. Balance includes instability. Our lives are unstable. My teacher talks endlessly about groundlessness. So having that, becoming comfortable with the ground being pulled out from underneath you. That is, she talks about this every single class, on and on and on, about the only ground we can count on is the groundlessness that is our lives. And then the mudra that you're practicing right now, the Pushan Mudra, it allows you to be in touch with the flow, the cycle of life, that you're constantly, things are coming in, you're birthing things, you're living things in your life, and things are going out. You're experiencing loss, there is death, you're letting go of things. This is a natural cycle of life. And through our practice, we can become comfortable with this cycle, know that it's not personal, know that it's just the natural flow of life. I say this all the time, we cannot be in abundance all the time. If the tide was continually flowing, it would be a tsunami. And tsunamis are destructive. There has to be ebb and there has to be flow. So there has to be flow and ebb. So it has to come in and it has to go out. And you can see this right here, right now, even in the Todd Inlet. So we tend to be very fearful in our culture around death, around loss, around letting go. It's a very natural part of life. And hopefully through our practice, we can become more familiar with it. Okay, so reflect on these teachings and how they relate to you in your life right now. And begin to form an intention of what you would like to receive from the rest of the class. What it is you're trying to birth, sustain, or let go of. And how the rest of your yoga practice could help you do that. And then when you're ready, you can make your way up to standing. We're going to start standing at the top of our yoga mats. So you're going to take a step back with your right leg. Sink down through your left sit bone. Turn your hips to the front edge of your mat. And we're going to do that 3-part breath again. So really focus on the filling up. Notice what it's like to be full of air, to take in all of life, and then to let it all go. Okay? So breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and exhale. Breathe into your belly, your rib cage, your upper chest, and exhale. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest, exhale. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest, exhale. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest, and exhale. And then we'll switch sides. Okay, now you're going to take a step back with your left foot. And you'll sink down through your front right sit bone. Turn your hips to the short edge of your mat, the front of your mat. And we'll do the same arms. Breathe into your belly, your rib cage, your upper chest, and breathe out. Belly, rib cage, upper chest, breathe out. Belly, rib cage, upper chest, breathe out. Belly, rib cage, upper chest, breathe out. Turn your right knee out. Breathe in belly, rib cage, upper chest, breathe out. One more. Belly, rib cage, upper chest, and breathe out. And then we'll release this from your body. Okay, from here we're going to do Warrior 3 pose. So you're going to come probably to about the middle of your mat. And inhale, take your arms straight up. Stand on your left leg. Ooh, there's a salamander over there. And you're going to, on the rocks, you're going to tip over your left femur bone, the top of your left leg, and like a seesaw, come parallel to the ground with your arms and your leg and your torso. So we're practicing balance here, practicing letting go of perfection and impermanence, instability, groundlessness. And find a way to let yourself out of the posture on this side if you haven't been in and out. And then we're going to do this on the other side. So he's just crawling all over the rocks there. It's a lizard. Okay. And then we're going to take your arms straight up. I can't figure out whether it's the ants that are biting me here or if it's just one bite that's really itchy or yeah. Okay, inhale up. You've got socks and shoes on, they're not going to bite you. And exhale, you're going to hinge over your hips. Okay, and then slowly up. And release that from your body. And then, so that's a balancing pose where you have a lot of support from your core strength and your eyes are looking at the ground. So we're going to do another one where you're going to do, where it's not as stable because there's some rotating of your head. So that moves your vestibular system. So it's much more challenging because it involves your inner ears. So this tends to be a more challenging balancing pose. So you're going to come, I like to use a block on the ground. You can use a block. You can use a chair too, is nice. You're going to come into a standing forward fold. You can have a block on the ground in front of you. And you're going to lift your right leg back and up behind you. Drop your left sit bone, open up your right hip. And I find it helpful to keep my eyes on the ground because that creates some more stability for my balancing. And then reach your right arm up. And you can keep your eyes on the ground, or if you want to add more of a balance challenge, you can turn your head. Woo. So that's where that's good, right? That's the experience of falling out of the pose is as much part of the experience. So I'm going to come back in. That's why I turned my head, because I wanted to have that experience. I wanted you to see me have that experience. It's not good to see your teacher just... Did you guys see J.P. Sears? Yeah, it's good. You gotta watch his video on doing Instagram yoga videos, yoga pictures. Okay. Okay. All right. Shall we try the other side? So take the block or your chair over to the other side. You're going to come into standing forward fold again. Place your hand on the block or your chair if you're using that, or on the ground. And then lift your left leg up and behind you. You can also place your back against the wall, but I'd love for you to work with less stability because we're working with groundlessness today. Drop your right sit bone, open up your left hip bone. And then start to lift your left arm. This side is more challenging for me, and there was a wasp. Okay, so I'm building again. So just like life. Okay, and then release that posture from your body. And we're going to take that block, we're going to use it in our next pose along with your other block. So you're going to come down. So your first block is going to be for your head, and it's going to go high. Your second block is going to be long for your upper back. And then you're going to place your legs out long in front of you. And you're going to rest back over the low block. Place your head on the high block, and it'll just take a little bit of adjusting. The base of your low block wants to be at the base of your rib cage, and then open your arms out to the side. This is a passive back bend because I chose it because we have to open our hearts in kind of a surrendering way to do that letting go and detachment and being open to impermanence. So we'll just rest here in the supported back bend. So let's just do a few rounds of 3-part breath here. You're going to breathe into your belly, breathe into your rib cage, breathe into your upper chest, and breathe out. Breathe in belly, breathe in ribs, breathe in upper chest, and exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in rib cage, breathe in upper chest, and exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in rib cage, breathe in upper chest, and exhale. Breathe in belly, breathe in rib cage, breathe in upper chest, and exhale. And then from here, you're going to tuck your chin and use your elbows. Hold on to your mat. Roll up through your spine. Come up to seated. Cross your left leg in and your right leg over. So we're in Gomukhasana, cow's face. And if you have space underneath your buttocks, you can fill it with one of those blocks. And we'll do a twist here. And twist to the other side. And then lift up tall, sink down through your sit bones and fold forward. Come up. And switch sides. So this time you're going to cross your left leg over your right leg. So it's beautiful as we're coming to the close of our class. We're coming to the close of the day here. We decided to film in the evening. It's one of those days where the temperature was going up all day, so we knew we were going to get a warmer temperature at the end of the day, and also that our lighting will be better and that the UV is low at the end of the day. So many reasons to wait until later to film. Lengthen up nice and tall. You're going to rotate. Rotate to the other side. Come to the center, sink down through your sit bones, lengthen up tall through your spine, hinge forward. I think it is the ants that are biting. That was another bite for sure. I think I've laid down. Remember last year we didn't film here because there were so many bugs down here? There was we went over to the next one, yeah. Okay, and then come up, and you are going to rest back on your back. For Shavasana. Okay, so you can stay here, resting in Shavasana to receive and integrate your practice. Of course, Shavasana is the ultimate pose in letting go. We get to practice letting go every time we do Shavasana. So you can be with this pose of integration, of letting go. And I'm going to sit up and read you, I don't have a poem per se, but I have an excerpt from John Donahue's book, Anam Cara, and his writing is incredibly poetic, and he does write poems, but this is prose. So you're gonna stay here. So Anam Cara means soul friend, the name of the book. It's a gorgeous book. And John O'Donohue, an incredible writer, an Irish poet and writer, and he actually died very young. And he wrote a lot about death too, which is kind of interesting. And this is from his book his book's called Soul Friend, where he was a section of the book where he writes a lot about death. And this one is called The Dead Are Our Nearest Neighbors. The dead are not far away. They are very, very near us. Each one of us someday will have to face our own appointment with death. I like to think of this as an encounter with your deepest nature and most hidden self. It is a journey toward a new horizon, As a child, when I looked up at the mountain near my village, I used to dream of the day when I would be old enough to go with my uncle up to the top of the mountain. I thought that I would be able to see the whole world on the horizon. I remember that I was very excited when the day finally came. My uncle was bringing sheep over the mountain, and he told me that I could come with him. As we climbed up the mountain and came to where I thought the horizon would be, it had disappeared. Not only was I not able to see everything when I got there, but another horizon was waiting, farther on. I was disappointed, but also excited in an unfamiliar way. Each new level revealed a new world. Hans Georg Gadamer, a wonderful German philosopher, has a lovely phrase. A horizon is something toward which we journey, but it is also something that journeys along with us. This is an illuminating metaphor for us for understanding the different horizons of your own growth. If you are striving to be equal to your destiny and worthy of the possibilities that sleep in the clay of your heart. I mean, come on, it's all poetry with him. Then you should be regularly reaching for new horizons. If you're striving to be equal to your destiny and worthy of the possibilities that sleep in the clay of your heart, then you should be regularly reaching for new horizons. Against this perspective, death can be understood as the final horizon. Beyond there, the deepest well of your identity awaits you. In that well, you will behold the beauty and light of your eternal face. Beyond there, the deepest well of your identity waits you. In that well, you will behold the beauty and light of your eternal face. So I just loved that reading because I felt like it encapsulated the cycle of life and death and rebirth and the childlike wonder and the realization that we will all die too. I just thought it was just wonderful. And there was just such gorgeous hope in it too, spiritual longing. I hope it resonated for you as well. Love John O'Donohue's writings. Okay, so gradually allow your breath to deepen. Begin to wiggle and stretch out. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And just pause there for a moment. So, see, this is very symbolic too. You've been in that position of death. You're rolling to your side. This is the embryonic position of rebirth now. So you're rebirthing, you're in the embryo, and now you're coming up to seated. So here's your rebirth. And this is true in our life. We get to start again and again and again. There can be failure, but there can be the chance to start anew. So we finished our practice by gathering in the fruits of our practice first for ourselves, and then offering them out into the world. So we do this with the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, making space with breath and a sigh. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So thank you so much for joining us for episode 329 of Namaste Yoga. If you like the show, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, then subscribe. We put out a new show every Friday at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Pacific. And you want to come on here and finish this out, babes? No, okay. Cheap seats behind the camera has lots to say right now. Okay. And if you know somebody who would like this class, then feel free to share it with them. We'd appreciate that very much. I want to thank some people for their donations this week. Thank you to Peggy, Hillary, Rowena, and Diane, and Maria for your donations. Maria left a lovely message with her donation this week. She said, "Thank you so much for your lovely yoga videos on YouTube. You can't imagine how much you are helping people. Thank you for the healing and the inspiration." So thank you, Maria. That was very healing and inspiring to me too, to receive your beautiful message. We really appreciate your kindness and your continued support. It allows us to produce these shows and offer them freely all around the world to people just like you. So you can make a donation right here. And if you'd like to donate of your time, then you can do that by leaving a comment in the comments box. That helps us too. When you do that, the question I have for you today is, what are you letting go of today? So what are you releasing? What are you letting go of? Now, the intention behind cultivating the 6 perfections is for the development of compassion. So if you would like 4 easy and practical ways to cultivate compassion in your daily life, then you can go to melissawest.com/329. And at the bottom, there's an opt-in box. If you put your email in there, then I will email you an infographic with 4 easy ways to integrate compassion into your daily life. And also, if you would like more support in becoming more comfortable with the cycles of life, birth, and death, then I highly recommend one of my absolutely most favorite series in our membership community. It is the bereavement series. It was a requested series because people experience loss in their lives. Our members experience loss. It's something we all experience. And it's a gorgeous little series, very gentle. And it guides you through the cycles of life, death, and rebirth, but mostly it supports you through losses in your life. And not only the death of a loved one, but I've used it through many losses and disappointments in my life. So that's a series that I go to again and again when I'm experiencing heartbreak, loss, disappointment, rejection. It's something that I can go to ease me through any grieving processes that I'm going through. I find it very gentle and supportive, and I know our members love that one too. So I'll link to that in the show notes if you're a member. It's not a series to be afraid of. I find that a lot of members are like, oh, I don't know, I haven't touched that one yet. And yet when they go to it, they're like, oh my God, it was so gentle and so supportive. It's an incredible series. I cannot say enough about it. I know I created it, but it's been one of the most nurturing and supportive yoga classes series. There's 5 classes, and for those times in your lives when your heart is breaking and you're grieving and you need that kind of really gentle support, it's never let me down. So there's a link here if you'd like to become a member, and if you already are a member and you're curious about that class, I put the link to the class in the show notes as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as rooted as the trees in our forests, and may you be as strong as our mountains. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.